Hello and welcome back. Now we'll get into writing a treatment. Before we get into that, I just wanted to get into what font you should be using for all of this. You should be using Courier, not New Courier, but Old Courier. You may need to find this font on the internet and need to install it, but you will need to use Courier. This is often referred to as Courier Prime as well. Once you have the font, you should be able to just hit install once you open it. And this is because it's a standard in the industry to use this font. A treatment is as follows: a logline, a character list or a summary, whatever you want to call it, a synopsis, which is the summary we just made, and the actual treatment, which is broken up into 3 acts and further broken up into sequences. Now, a logline is very simple to theorize on, but sometimes difficult to write. Why? Because it's an entire summary of the script into a single or double line. Usually it's a single. Again, here we use 4 of the 5 big questions. A logline will go as follows 90% of the time. Who is the protagonist? What is he doing? Why is he doing it? How is he doing it? And who is he doing it to? So for us, it would be logline in bold, and then enter, and then a computer hacker plans to seek justice by hacking into a criminal organization that's framing innocent charities by using a loophole he found in their security system. There we go. We have our logline. So let's move on to the character list. Now, our character list is made up of available characters that we will be using inside of our story. The format of a character list is that the heading, character list, is centered and bold. Then the characters themselves are margined into the center, right aligned, with the preceding lines to be margined after the dash. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Now, we have ROS, the organization, the technical support that gives the organization the information, the person who orders a hit on ROS, and the hitman himself. So we have 5 characters in our character list. Now we actually have the description laid out for us, but you can build upon them if you feel you need to. ROS, a computer hacker at the age of 32 who is male. The organization. The organization is targeting charity firms by making it look as though the people of the charity are stealing from the charity when the organization itself is stealing from the charity. Security guy, the technical support that gives the organization the information. Organization guy, the person who orders a hit on ROS. Hitman, the man that is sent to kill ROS. There's your character list. Now, since we already have our synopsis, we can actually move on to the treatment itself. The following format is the title, treatment in bold, enter, act 1, enter, sequence, and then the number of the sequence, parentheses, pages, and the starting page, a dash, and then the ending page. Now there are 8 sequences overall in all of the acts. The normal formatting is that 3 sequences go in the first act, 3 more go into the second act, and 2 go in the final act. So that's how that works. The pages are different based on the content inside, but we usually see pages as in minutes. So if I wanted a 10-minute script, I would need at least 10 pages, and at max, 15 pages. And at minimum, I would need 8 pages. For this short film, we'll say 10 pages. Therefore, each section will get about 1 or 2 pages, but like I said, that will determine on how much you think you can write inside of those pages. For our acts, we literally copy and paste bits of our summary appropriately. Alright, so I'll leave a download for the amount I chose in pages in the resources section of this video. Here's an optional note. You can also add a treatment cover, which is a single page that goes in the front of the treatment with the centered treatment title in the center of the page. Hit enter and then working treatment and then hit enter again, by, and then hit enter again, and then your name. You can also add some address information, which should be placed in the bottom right hand corner. Now, there are syntaxes that you need to know in order to write a script, as well as some rules to follow. The first is interior or exterior, followed by a place and then optionally a time of day. Before each scene, we must describe whether the scene is going to be inside of the place or outside of the place. Interior is represented by INT with a dot, and exterior is represented by EXT with a dot. This declaration line must be in all capital letters. Each part is separated with a dash. If a scene is going to happen in both interior and exterior, you need to name the order that it will happen with a / in between the two ints or ext or ent ext. So for instance, say I have our man is inside of the bedroom and then walks outside. I would use interior / exterior because he went from the interior to the exterior. Following this is the description and the action. Both are in third person, which means no references to self. Both are in present tense or current tense, as it were, and the only difference is that action must be bold to show that it's an action. Then we have the dialogue. The dialogue goes as follows. Name, parenthetical with a description of emotion or short action, followed by a dialogue not contained within quotes. All three are centered. With the parenthetical, there's a rule. If the dialogue is happening over the phone, the person speaking into the phone must have the parenthetical into phone. And the person over the phone, if they're off screen, must have over phone filtered. With dialogue, we either have VO or OV, which is voiceover or over voice. Either way you look at it, it's still voiceover. This is added at the end of a character name to show that the character is not actually shown in the scene. We also have off-screen, which is off-screen. And this is when the character is off of the screen, but they're still talking. Yes, whenever they're both off-screen and they're providing a voiceover, we normally use VOOS or OSVO. Then we have POV, which is point of view. Now, POV is a loose item. It really depends on the director's acceptance of what they think POV should look like. But I normally follow a specified format. I type POV, a dash, the name or object that the POV is going through, and then a description of what occurs in the POV. Two different but similar elements to POV is the flashback and the montage. We use flashback by stating the beginning and the end of the flashback, with begin flashback and end flashback. Inside of it, we have a scene. A montage is used by stating series of shots or pictures with a dash and whatever it's supposed to represent. Then you have an ABC list to determine the order of prevalence, the type of shots that take place. Finally, we have the transitions, fade, cut, and pan. Something going out will be on the right-hand side. Something coming in will be on the left-hand side. These are done at the end of a scene or at the beginning of a scene, just above the environment declaration. These are all in capital letters and end in a colon. So we have fade out, fade in, cut to, and pan over. Now to go over the rules. The action has a left margin of 1.5, a width of 6, a right margin of 1. A dialogue has a left margin of 2.9, a width of 3.3, and a right margin of 2.3. Left margin for character Q is 4.2, width is 3.3, and right margin is 1. Left margin for parenthetical is 3.6, width is 2, and right margin is 2.9. And the transition has a width of 1.5 and a right margin of 1. Alright, in the next few videos we'll actually write the script, so I'll see you there.